A famous international cyclist once said, "Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever." That is extremely true. For now, we can endure the small bits of pain and the large amounts of pain to come, but ultimately we will reap the benefits, the rewards, and the successes. And as we look back as champions, we will remember the hard work we did to get there. We'll never forget where we came from, and we'll be proud of where we're going. On the journey to health and wellness, especially when it comes to your weight loss, you can feel so many different emotions. And believe it or not, we all feel pain and suffering. We feel like we're having to cut back, or feel like we're having to let go of the things we've loved, the things that have comforted us, for a long time, especially like food. For many of us, food brings such a tight, innate comfort to us. We relate it to some very dark times. And of all things, food has been the one thing that's never let us down. I've always felt that way. That no matter how emotionally wrecked I felt, how let down I felt, how I felt so many times that I just never was good enough, food was the one thing that allowed me to believe I was. It was the one way to curb that pain. And when I sat there and ate that croissant, or I gouged on that large pizza with extra cheese and extra bacon, or I guzzled that 2 liter of Coke for that insane few minutes, I felt like everything was okay. But what it really did was it was slowly killing me. Things like that are slowly killing us, and it's putting us in a worse place. Because what we're doing is we're not dealing with the pain, and we're not dealing with the suffering. We're not dealing with the hurt. And instead, we're feeding that with poor food choices, lack of exercise, and even more stress. And ultimately, can take your life. Sadly but not, the amount of deaths in North America alone related to obesity and obesity complications like diabetes is staggering and shocking. People dying from heart complications. Why? Because they didn't eat good enough. They weren't active enough. They killed themselves. So many times we forget to look at what we're actually doing. And we need to realize that there is a why behind it. Until you can start to deal with the pain and the suffering, until you can become a champion in your own life and take things directly head on and fight for yourself for once, nothing's going to change. You're going to keep resorting to food. You're going to keep letting yourself down. And no matter how many times you keep saying you're going to do better this time, you're going to try harder, it gets to the point in your life where people just give up on you. And I know by 2011, that's how I felt. Especially by the time I got into 2012. My family felt like they'd given up on me. My friends felt like they'd given up on me. And even my coworkers, most of them just didn't care. What's going to be different this time, John? What's going to be different? Every other time you tried to lose weight before, you failed. So why should I put effort in this time when I put effort in the last 10 times and it's been a waste? You get to the point where you feel like there's nothing else that's going to work. But you know what? By this time, you're already beat down. And now you've got people saying, what's the point? You're just setting yourself up to fail again. I know this is what some of you are going through. You feel like people don't want to see this change. They're not used to this change. And even you think you can't do any better. But you know what happens? Something changes. Something happens to you. One word. Champion. Because you know what? that's what you become. You get to a point in your journey where you finally realize that you've hit rock bottom and that enough is enough and that you're done being the fat person. You're done being the failure. That's it. You finally feel like inside you're ready to deal with your emotions. You're ready to take the pain and the suffering head on and show it who the hell is going to get whooped in the ass. Boom! Here comes the boom! Here comes the boom! Because you know what? It's about time. So now you realize you're ready to become a champion. You start standing up for yourself. You start making better food choices. You start making a plan of attack to exercise. You find that inner strength that you're missing and you bring it out and you go, roar! You know, Katy Perry said it in her latest hit. I am the eye of the tiger, the fighter, dancing through the fire because I'm a champion and you're going to hear me roar. And you know what? You do. You scream louder, louder than a lion. You let everyone know you're in this for the long haul. You commit to yourself. You focus. You stay determined. And you know what? You get a plan of attack and you do it every minute of every day. Yeah, you're going to have so many moments of weakness. I know this last couple weeks, have literally felt like I've let myself down. But it's in those points where you have to say, you know what? I'm not done yet. A champion never quits. And remember, pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. And ultimately, you're never a failure until you quit. As long as you still keep trying and you still keep fighting, even if you have to do it 20 or 30 times, you're not a failure. Because at least you're trying. And trying means you never gave up. And as long as you keep trying, you are a champion. And I think I realized that this week. That yeah, I've been struggling and struggling these past few weeks. A few Spark friends of mine, including my Spark sister Sophia, have too. We're at that point where she's at her last 30, I'm at my last 20, and we see the finish line. And these last pounds, the hardest ones to hit. But you know what? I believe in her, I believe in myself, and I believe in all of you that are inspiring me, that are standing beside me and allowing me to be part of your journey and you being a part of mine. And you know what? That's why we are all champions here on Spark. Because we're not giving up. We're truly fighting for what we want, and that's to be healthy. To be at a healthy weight, to be able to do things. You know, she's registered for the Bupa 10K London. I've got about 3 other 5Ks, 4 maybe coming up, and the stair climb in March. Boom! We're making healthy choices. We're putting ourselves as a priority, and we're doing it a step at a time. And ultimately, that's what a champion is. You know? Sometimes you hate some of the things you have to do. But you say to yourself, don't quit. Suffer now, and you can live the rest of your life as a champion. Because that's what you are. You are the eye of the tiger. You are a fighter. You're going to roar louder than a lion. Believe in yourself, and you can do this. You are a champion. Good night.